Hello and welcome to the video. This is a first look and unboxing at the latest wing to come in that I'm going to be building. This is the E-Wings Blackhawk. Now this is something that I spoke to Greg at E-Wings about a while ago, and I've looked at the stuff on E-Wings and been tempted quite a few times to buy one of his models. His models are all kind of variations on a theme. They're all hot wire cut from foam, and he does some really cute stuff. And this one, when it came out, because I love these kind of forward swept designs, so things like the Drac, things like the Dart XL, things like the ZOHD Dart, I love the way these things look and the way they fly. I thought, you know what, I've got to get in on some of that. So I did a pre-order and paid for it, and it's just arrived. Now, it is fun to get these kind of boutique products in that aren't from a main manufacturer, that's literally a guy in his spare time cutting foam in the shed in the garden. And if you're used to models from manufacturers that are using injection molded foam, then the finish is a lot different. And looking at the model, it could be easy to dismiss it as it's just a Drac clone. But now I've got it here, and looking at it as a Drac pilot, I can say it's absolutely nothing like a Drac. It probably has more in common with Thunderbird 2 than it does with the Drac. The same kind of forward swept wing design is used in lots of other models, and it's interesting to see, and I happen to know Greg started with a blank piece of paper, that when he's designed it, he's ended up with this kind of design because that's the way it has to be. Just look at all the forward swept models on the market. They all solve the problem in a similar way. But before I placed my order, I did ring Greg at E-Wings and just say, Chris at Right Wing is aware you're doing this, isn't he? And the great news is that conversation has happened. So Greg over here in Scotland for E-Wings and Chris over at Right Wing have had a conversation, and there's a gentleman's agreement in place. So Greg is only going to sell this model in the UK. So unfortunately, if you're outside the UK, then at the moment it's tough luck. So while I unbox this, let me go through the specifications. So again, this is wire cut from a solid block of foam. It's EPP high density foam, which is what you tend to find a lot of the more expensive wings are made from. But the finish, as I said, is very different because it is wire cut rather than injection molded. It's 101 centimeter wingspan, so just over a meter, a little bit bigger than some of the other models. The fuselage is 57 centimeters long. The battery bay is absolutely massive, and it's one of the big things I noticed when I took it out. In the pictures, you don't really appreciate how big the battery bay is. It's 76 by 170 by 54 millimeters, and you can see when it was on the bench how big that is. It would easily fit the really large lithium ion packs if that's the way you want it to go. The electronics bay is also very big and very deep as well. It's 76 by 75 by 32 millimeters. Now everything you need is in the box, and on the website it lists all the things that you get. So this is one of those wings that you are going to have to build, but all the carbon spars, the reinforcement, even all of the linkages for the servos and the control horns that will go out onto the ailerons at the back are all in here. There are a number of balsa wood pieces and 3D printed pieces too, for things like the 3D motor mounts and also for reinforcements in key places. Now, the manual that Greg over at E-Wings has done is really, really good. It talks about the glue that you need, how you put it together, each of the individual steps, how you sight all of the carbon spars into position. And on the website, it does also include recommendations for motor and ESC setups as well, which is great to see. I wish more manufacturers did that. And there's a big list of 3D printable parts that you can download to put in the space at the front, because he's thoughtfully left that space free so you can just put whatever kind of mount on there that you want. Either cut it from a bit of foam that you have, or to actually 3D print something. And I'll probably 3D print mine. I'm personally not putting the winglets on the end of the wings because they're not designed that way, and winglets are only really cosmetic, so I'm just going to leave them off. Lamination of the wings is a good idea. The lamination will do two things. One, it will dramatically increase the strength of the model, so I might have to bite the bullet and do some lamination. I did ask Chris to put some lamination film in mine, which was that piece at the beginning of the unboxing, and I'm probably going to have a crack at laminating, so wish me luck. I'm going to order a laminating iron Because the finish on the foam is a little bit rougher, because it has been cut, laminating will do two things. It will actually smooth that out, but also provide that additional mechanical protection. Talking to Greg up there in E-Wings, he was saying that when all the carbon spars are in position and the wings are laminated, they get pretty bulletproof. So with it all laid out on the bench, getting ready to put it together, I'm going to order the glue and things over the next day and gently start this build. There are a lot of differences here from some of the other forward swept wing models that I've already talked about. The battery bay is absolutely massive. The central body is definitely a non-lifting central body, and the aerofoil is a symmetrical design. The body is as well. It's a NACA 0014 aerofoil, which is used in spec wing racing. So this is absolutely designed for out-and-out speed, and it means that at cruising, you're probably going to need a slightly more nose-up attitude than you would with some of those other models that have a more conventional, less racing-style aerofoil. The results of all these changes means that this forward swept wing is very different from any of the others that I have in my collection, and I'm excited to put this together and stick a flight controller in it and get it up in the sky and see how it performs. So stay tuned for the build and maiden videos that will be happening over the next month or so. I've got another couple of things that I'm doing at the moment, but I just wanted to make this quick video so you can see it, and for those of you that were interested, you can actually see it in the flesh or foam for the first time. Thank you for watching my video and watching right to the very end. If you want to find out what I'm currently working on, you can follow me on social media by searching for Painless360 in the usual places. If you'd like to become part of the inner circle, then you can become a Patreon. Details are in the description and you get lots of additional benefits. Check out the playlist section on the channel too. I organise all of my videos into playlists, and it's called something like Introduction to or for Beginners. All of the content is aimed so that you can start at the very beginning, and it teaches you that subject, starting with simple principles and moving up to teach you everything you need to know.